The spotlight shines on the Valley as the elite speedsters scorch the turf in the AJ Moir Stakes. A Cox Plate Day staple from 76 to 2011, the new Moir now stands proud in September, launching the night racing season. Since Scamander saluted in 76, this weight for age contest has produced some of the swiftest names in Australian racing. The Judge won 2 early editions, but Hall of Famer Manicado's win in 82 cemented the Moor as a prime target for sprinters.
But Manicado will get the money.
Deservedly, the race was elevated to a Group 1 in 2013.
Already is starting to sprint right away and she'll bolt it in.
And a 2015 prize money boost to $1 million ensures the fastest and best credentialed gallopers meet at the Valley.
But buffering, you're an old marble.
Stars to have won the Moir and the Australian Champion Sprinter title include Falvalon in 2000.
And this jet ball out of Queensland explodes away Falvalon, it's over.
Miss Andretti 2007.
Miss Andretti starting to draw clear. She's 3/4 in front, gold edition, not giving up without a fight, but Miss Andretti too good.
Apache Cat 2009.
And here's the Cat. Apache Cat flashes home along the fence and he's got up to win.
Nature Strip 2019.
Nature Strip needs the line. It's gonna get there.
And Black Caviar 2010-2011, her 2 Cox Plate Day wins, adding lustre to an enthralled and packed Valley.
And if you've come to see the greatest, here she is.
Buffering ran in 5 straight Moyers, winning 3.
Buffering hanging on as they go to the line, and he's got it, he's won it again, Buffering.
But recently the girls have held supreme. She will reign.
She will reign. She will reign.
Vedora.
Unlucky last year. She's the hero tonight, Vedora.
And Pippi holding sway over the boys.
But it's Pippi in front. She's burning them with speed. Ballistic Lover at the 100. Wild Ruler, the Inferno right down the centre. Wild Ruler and the Inferno. Wild Ruler just in front of the Inferno. Wild Ruler.
One of 2 Group 1s contested over 1,000 metres in Australia. Don't blink or you'll miss the slickest 60 seconds of the season.
There's been some magnificent winners of the Moir and we're going to get one tonight. It is a red-hot race. Of course, Wild Ruler was last year. There wasn't the big crowds like we're seeing today, but it was certainly excellent for Daniel Moore getting his 2nd Group 1 victory after taking out the Rupert Clark the week before and then taking out the Moir on the Friday night. But it looks so exciting as they set the scene towards Group 1 action.
Yeah, certainly, and it is nice to have a bit of atmosphere back on the track. I know we've been talking about it throughout the night, but when obviously you run races under COVID restrictions, we don't get the crowds here, and it's been fantastic to see the lawn filled tonight. It's been fantastic to see people around the mounting yard, and it looks like everyone is enjoying their night out.
It's been really fantastic that I've got the right mic now, because I've made a few blues tonight. That's been another one of them. But no, it's a cool night, but great crowd. It's going to be an exciting race.
Yeah,
it's going to be a really exciting
There's definitely
race.
been a lot of action and a lot of excitement that we've seen from people around the mountain yard and out the front as well, Hutch.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a bit of a buzz around, and there's a few oohs and ahs in the crowd, but there'll be a few more after the feature, I'm sure. But I reckon the Queensland's have got a great chance. I'm a big fan of Rob Heathcote. He's, Rothfire, he's done a great job with that horse, and it's a good story, isn't it? Back from the amount of adversity that galloper's been through since day one, really, and it'd be great to see him, capture it all with a Group 1 here tonight.
It certainly will. Well, let's head out to the man who's out the front at the moment, JT, and he's got an umbrella, unlike us.
Very much looking forward to the Group 1 Moir. It's a cracking race. Great to have racing back under lights here at the Valley. SD, as we head across to you for a market update for the feature.
Coolangatta's had good support, so here we go, Rothfire. Let's have a look, because when he opened up with Sportsbet Rothfire, he opened up at $4.50. He's now into $3.80, so there's been good, steady money for him all the way through. And Alligator Blood, he was terrific behind him in Australia. So he's got the class. The market says he can win here tonight, $3.80. Paul Lally, well, $5. Got into $4.20, but back out to $4.50 here tonight. So a slight ease there for Paul Alley. Drawn outside of Rothfire. Watch the battle of tactics between those 2 jocks, D-Lane and James McDonald. Coolangatta the filly. She draws barrier 1. She needs to keep that gate, you would imagine, with the lightweight of 50 kilos. $10 went up. Punter said, thank you, that's too big for her. Crack second up at this level, $6.
Magnificent Moir Stakes coming up, and they're in the mountain yard before the Group 1 feature. The horse that we will look at first is Paul Alley. Of course, he is a winner here at the Valley as a 2-year-old. 2-year-old. He's got a fantastic fresh record and he presents perfectly.
That he does. Lizzie, he's a real good fresh horse, like you said, won 3 or 4. He's a Group 1 competitive galloper often, and yeah, if he brings his A game, he'll make his presence felt. The negatives aren't where does he land tonight in a race with a fair bit of speed. He's going to need to pick and weave a path, but he's got J-Mac to do that job.
Big time differences when I've seen this horse during his racing campaign, so I'm probably seeing more changes in him than most, but gee, he has strengthened up since I last laid eyes on him. Lizzie, in terms of his development from last campaign to this, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing him pretty much very similar, but a stronger, thicker type of horse. But I think what's the biggest factor about him is he can sometimes get a bit head up in the mountain yard, and what's important is that he conserves his energy. So he's that year older, he's much more wiser, and this is what you're seeing, a horse with a lot more time on his side. So there's no reason why he won't run up to his previous performances and go one better. This is the horse that everyone is talking about, Rothfire. He's got a marvellous story on his side. He was an excellent winner first up into the campaign. It would be a fairy tale for Rob Heathcote and Damien Lane.
That it would, and he's had a bit of success here, Rob Heathcote, in the past with the all conquering, buffering, and this guy, he's winning the McEwen, was excellent. He gets a similar run tonight. I think he'll take the power of beating. He's 4 from 4 over the distance. I think he might make it 5 from 5.
I love his athleticism. He just looks like a real racehorse. He looked forward in the yard first up when he saw him this campaign, but gee, has he taken some improvement coming into this. I don't think the team physically could have him looking any better in terms of his fitness.
Damien Oliver and Toli Gollan combined with Zeus Star. We heard from Tony earlier on in the coverage. He said this horse has taken enough improvement to be very competitive. Hutch?
A couple of key things that he also brought up. The start needs to jump on terms, and where does Zeus Style end up? I think there's too much speed underneath him, but he can be prominent, and that'll help his cause. He's running the McEwen was excellent.
Yeah, he has improved. He's tucked up quite nicely in the midsection with that run under his belt. He's always pretty strong on the bit in the mounting yard, as you can see. He doesn't always just relax 100%, but by no means does he get himself worked up. So, look, a better parade than what we saw first up.
Malkovich knows one way, and that's speed, bead. Bjorn Baker and Rachel King combined together with this galloper. They have a terrific record when they do so. Can you give him an opportunity to win a Group 1?
Well, I think you have to, Lizzie, because, you know, that second up, they've obviously marked this race out as the target because he improves that first to second run. This is his right trip, and he gets the right kind of track, and he looks your leader. So I think Malkovich is right in the game.
He is built for speed, and the team obviously take all precautions with him. Red earmuffs on, a couple of strappers. He's not a horse I know well, Lizzie, but in terms of what you've seen in the past, how's he paraded?
Yeah, very well. He's taken improvement. It's just that last little bit of his races. If he gets left alone, like we've seen a few horses left alone tonight, he can definitely run well, but there does look a lot of speed on paper, so that could be his undoing. I thought this guy ran really well. Generations first up into the campaign. Mark Zara for Moir and Eustace. He looks as though he's going to have improved from that first up run.
Definitely, and you know, he's got gate speed. He can position well. The map's going to look good for him. He's 1,100 back to 1,000. I don't see that as any sort of major point with him really, but I think there's a couple other better ones in it. But once again, the conditions and where the run that he's likely to endure will give him a good chance.
He's always very relaxed on race day, but one thing he did first up that was really unusual was get really warm in the yard. He hasn't done that today. As you can see, he's nice and dry wandering around. To me, that suggests he's made really big improvements coming here tonight.
Will Clarkin and Ben Mellum combined with Extremely Lucky comes out of the Carline Stakes. He was an excellent winner first up at Morfettville in the Lightning. What did you make of his last start?
Well, he might have the best turn of foot in the race, but he's different to a lot of these, and he gets back and runs on, and he was no match for Bella Nipotina last start, but he'll be better for the experience. In terms of the ground, I'm not sure that's a major issue, but I don't want to be on anything that's got a course wide on this track at the moment. I think you got to be a lot closer to the inside than the out, and that make it difficult.
He's very unassuming in terms of type. He's only a neat horse, but one thing I will say is that the team have given him every opportunity to put his best foot forward tonight. He could not be presented any better in terms of his fitness and his physique.
September run can't be underestimated in a Group 1 at Moonee Valley. She does generally go better over further, but she is a Group 1 winner here at the track.
The 1,000 metres is a question mark. Interestingly, though, she actually runs well here at the Valley. All of her runs have been good. She's run well against the pattern in the past, and you know, like of course she's the winner of the William Reid. So I just fear that she might be running off her feet a little bit. But if she's within striking distance at the top of the straight, look out.
It's a good first up parade for her. Typically I'd be saying she was in need of the run and she was going to take improvement out of it, but I think given she's lining up in a Group 1 first up this campaign, she's a lot more forward than I've seen her previously.
Bella Nipotina comes off of a last start win in the Carline Stakes, over 1,000 metres here at the track. Craig Williams takes the ride for Myron Eustace.
Very good win, professional. She landed the spot and she was too good. She's got a little bit of early toe as well. I just didn't think it was as easy tonight from the barrier, but once again, experienced hooping Craig Williams. If he can find that right running line, it's she's right in the mix, but I would think many think it's going to be tough as a consequence.
Look, I actually think she's come on with the run under her belt. She has tightened up nicely. She's a big, strong mare, does hold condition through her preparation. Her manners were perfect in the yard tonight as well.
Isotope for Jai McNeil and Tony Gollan. She ran first up in the Cockram Stakes and is second up.
Got going late, and we heard from Tony earlier, blinkers back on. That could be a key. Also, what could be key, she settles a little closer if she jumps on term, so let's hope she does.
Yeah, look, she's improving with racing. Another nice parade from her.
Philip Stokes saddles up Maleva for Daniel Moore, ran last start in the Carline Stakes, beaten by Bella Nipotina.
I think she was a bit flattered because of, just that day she drew low, she got the lead and she had a chance, but it's a lot tougher for her tonight from a wider rally.
Coolangatta is down in the weights. Jamie Carr takes the ride, has got the 50 kilos on her. Kieran Maher and Dave Eustace.
Thought she had a chance behind Rothfire last start, and I can't see her turning the tables unless there's an enormous amount of improvement out of her. I could be incorrect, but I don't think we've seen Coolangatta anyway. But if she has, she's been very fast in and out.
Let's head to horse number 1, where get you to have a look at her when you lays eyes on her, Jane. The Inferno is horse number 1, Blake Shin, who's already got a winner on the board for Cliff Brown.
I think his chance today is, you go back and you ride for luck. The Inferno ran a terrific race behind Rothfire out the back. That's his race pattern. That's what I'll have to do again tonight, and maybe just keep the powder dry and try and find the right part of the track. But won't run a bad race, but it makes it tough given what we've seen so far this evening.
He's taken some natural improvement out of what was a really good first up parade from him.
Let's head over to Clint Hutchinson for his tips for the Group 1 Moir.
Okay, I'm with Rothfire. I thought this was the best of the night. I'm not put off with what I've seen in the track. Hopefully he can find a nice spot, and there'll be plenty of speed here, and I thought he'd run a great race. Paul Ele, I think you'd have to temper the chances to an extent. Outside of that, Bella Nipotina will need to find a good spot, and it doesn't end there. But I'm all over Rothfire. Hopefully he can run as well as he looked.
Yeah, Rothfire on top for me too. I really liked his parade. As I said, he's a sprinter with a lot of athleticism, but certainly strong enough to be footing it with these horses. I thought that the team have done an exceptional job with him since his first up outing, and he's just thrived here in Melbourne. It was a much better parade from him tonight. So Rothfire on top in the Group 1.
Okay, and punters are voting too, with all the spruik about the favourite Rothfire. Tightens up into $3.60, and clearly the best back late, although there's not much between him and also Paul Lally in terms of turnover on the books, but the most popular late is your favourite Rothfire. Coolangatta steady at the $6. Very, very quiet for the upset. Generation Zoo Style, the Inferno, extremely lucky. Bella Nipotina. Now don't forget the Rothfire special. Right next to your futures on your Sportsbet app is extras. Click on extras, go down to SD special. Rothfire to win the Moir and the Manikato, $28, and a place in both of the Moir and the Manikato, $4.
Kieran Maher's a trainer that has 3 runners in this race, 3 Group 1 chances. Kieran, first of all, how are you feeling? Are you sort of nervous? Are you excited? What's the emotions?
All of that, it's fantastic. Group 1 racing is what it's all about. And 3 live chances. Coolangatta, I couldn't be happier with her. Wrap of the draw, pretty similar to Generation. It's got a perfect draw for him. They'll all need to be at their best, it's a Group 1, but very happy with them.
You mentioned Coolangatta, barrier 1. She's shown versatility in her career. She's got speed, she can take a sit. What are you thinking from that inside gate?
Well, hopefully she can get a sit just behind the speed. She's got great tactical speed, so hopefully she can just get that nice bit of cover, and she'll need a bit of luck when, obviously when they turn. Hopefully she's looking for somewhere to go. But very happy.
Bella Nipotina's the other one. She's drawn out wide compared to the other 2. She brings winning form into this. Do you give her sort of any sneaky chance?
Yeah, definitely. If they overcook it, which they can do in this race, it's a high-pressure 1,000 metres. She loves the valley. She's got great soft track form, and she's in good order. So if I had to put you on the spot, your last $20, which one? The filly.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Kieran Maher there with 3 runners, suggesting that Coolangatta right down the bottom with 50 kilos is the best of them. And I'll quickly wander through the throng of owners here a minute out and have a quick chat with Will Clarkin, who brings across Extremely Lucky, mate. How's he travelled across to Melbourne?
Yeah, I'm actually confident he's travelled better this time after doing it once more. We've obviously got a very young horse still, and he's still on the way up and got a lot of maturity to come, but he played it really well.
We know that his usual racing style is to get back. He's got a lethal turn of foot. Hasn't necessarily been the pattern tonight. Are you confident that if things go to plan, he can run over the top of them?
Definitely going to take our medicine, go back on the horse, going to ride for a bit of luck. Like I said, he's not fully matured yet, and he's a long way from being his sort of grand final for us. So we'll be happy if the horse is hitting the line. He's had a really good month between runs. He's had a long preparation. He basically hasn't been out of work since he came into my care. So we'll be happy as long as he's finding the line and running well. We'll be happy.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Will Clarkin there, the South Australian visitor. They're almost set for the Group 1 Moir. It's the feature under lights here at the Valley. He's our caller, Matt Hill.
Aboard, won this race some 17 years ago on Virage de Fortune, and Maliva is back, trying to back away from the gates, and attendant and Clark of the course trying to assist. So they're getting close. Well supported Rothfire firms in further to 3.3 on the Victorian official price as Paul Laley is being brought forward now by James McDonald. Paul Laley going in, Ballanipatina, Extremely Lucky, and Maliva are going to be the final 3 for the running of the Moir Stakes. A time-honoured contest as the last couple get set. Now Maliva is in, so Ballanipatina is going to be the final one. It was Daniel Moore on Maliva winning this race last year. Here's Ballanipatina now. So the field just about right for the running of the Moir. They're set to run now. Stand by for a start. 1,000 metres, gates are back and racing. Isotope out the back with Extremely Lucky. Rothfire out quickly with Zeus Style. Paul Laley peeds out of the fray, and driving through is Coolangatta to lead them. Coolangatta after 200 metres led Zeus Style Generation. They were followed by Rothfire, the outside of Melkovic. 2 further back, Paul Laley and Ballanipatina. Then came Maliva, the Inferno, Isotope, and September Run, and 3 lengths Extremely Lucky. Zeus Style pressures Coolangatta through the gap. 500 metres to go from Generation behind them. They were followed by Rothfire, and Ballanipatina's tried to keep him in, but he's 3 wide. Rothfire from Ballanipatina, and then Paul Laley stoking up from Maliva, and behind those horses Melkovic. Coolangatta around the corner. 200 metres to go. The filly led by 2 lengths. Ballanipatina, Zeus Style, and then Rothfire. Coolangatta, 100 metres to go. Ballanipatina wearing it down. Coolangatta a neck. Ballanipatina's going to get close. Coolangatta has just won from Ballanipatina, photo 3rd, Zeus Style or Generation, then Rothfire, Paul Laley, a gap September Run, Maliva, Isotope, and then came Melkovic, the Inferno, and Extremely Lucky at the tail of the field.
Well, Coolangatta gets her Group 1 and gets it in the Moir Stakes. A brilliant front-running ride by Jamie Carr. She wasn't letting anyone take that pole position. She utilised her every step of the way. The fast-finishing Ballanipatina, we have to look time and time again at Rothfire and how he didn't get an opportunity to get a crack at them at the top of the straight, but all honours with Coolangatta. She is now a Group 1 winner.
That she is, and hopefully if you listen in to Kieran Maher, big result for the race. For the Maher Eustace team, 1-2 in the run, and yeah, another leader, another winner. We have to say it. Jamie found the front. She didn't want to relinquish that spot. They were rolling once again, and they couldn't reel her in. She's turned the tables on a couple on their last meeting. Ballanipatina, oh so brave, I think, with the pattern against, and Rothfire certainly with some excuses. But Coolangatta gets her Group 1.
Yeah, certainly does. 27 Group 1s for Kieran Maher, 17 with David Eustace, and an excellent performance. That's Group 1, number 7 for Jamie Carr. They've combined time and time again before, but they've now got that Group 1 victory, and she's very worthy of a Group 1 win, isn't she? She's been so dominant as a 2-year-old. 17-year-old, and to see her return, probably a little bit questionable how she returned, but to see her return and now get that Group 1 win on the board, I'm sure the team would be very satisfied. And James Safaris is catching up with the man of the moment, Kieran Maher.
Yeah, I've got Kieran Maher, I've got managing owner John O'Neill here. To John, first of all, while Kieran gets the hugs. Mate, what a filly. Congratulations.
Yeah, look, just an enormous job by Kieran and David and the team. And, I mean, we love this filly. You know, it's well documented. Will Bourne bought her for us, and Kieran found her with Gabs. And we've got such a great relationship with Kieran and David and the team. And she's a really special filly. I've been away on holidays. I was sitting at home and he rang me and he said, "You better get out of here." So I'm freezing to death. I'm out here, but I'm the happiest bloke of all time. So it's unreal.
It's hard to wipe the smile off your face after you win a Group 1. But what a filly she's been. A Magic Millions. Obviously to then come and run so well in a slipper to train on it at 3. Horses just don't do this.
No, look, they don't. But having said that, you know, Kieran's been very patient the whole way through. It was a wonderful prep from a 2-year-old perspective. His facilities and the way that he looks after the horses, for us, is an absolute pleasure to have him there. So he was really confident. I know everyone was a little disappointed the other day, but I think the important thing to note is she'd never been Melbourne way going the other day, and she had a good look around. And look, he's done a wonderful job, and we got the money, so it's unreal.
Mate, go and jump in that winner stall. I'm going to have a chat to your trainer.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Johnny O'Neill there, Kieran Maher. Wow, mate, what a filly and what a win.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Super job by the team. What Johnny said about her, you know, first way going here the other day. You know, there's a lot of doubters that say, you know, why are you putting a 3-year-old filly in a race like that against those hardened sprinters? You know, I was very confident in the horse. I knew the way she pulled up the other day. I knew she had a tough run, but she pulled up very, very well. She was very fit going into it, and super ride by Jamie. You know, there's not too many jockeys that can ride 50 and ride as well as her at any weight. So, you know.
Well done, buddy.
I thought she'd be sitting behind one, and she took the initiative. She took the luck out of the race, and full credit to her and full credit to the team. I've done a fantastic job with her over all the states, and it's just a massive thrill to get a horse this early in her career to win a Group 1 like that. And to the owners, Ozzy and John and Will, my team, it's just fantastic. It's a great effort.
What were you thinking when it was Bella Nipotina that loomed up as the main threat?
Well, that's not much of a problem.
Yeah. She's run a mighty race though, that man.
Oh, Bella Nipotina, she put the writing on the wall. She loves the Valley. You know, she had it up against her, but Craig knows her so well as well. So, no, bring on the Manicato for her.
What about the winner, Coolangatta? Can she stretch her brilliance out to 6 furlongs?
She probably can. There's not much she can't do. So around here again, I'm sure Jamie would like to ride her again, and we'll see how she pulls up. But, you know, it's a big tick, and you know, if she did nothing else this prep, you know, she's a maturing filly, and it's just a great effort, big thrill.
Go and enjoy it, mate. Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you.
Winning trainer Kieran Maher, embracing with winning jockey Jamie Carr, and she's going to come over and join us for a brief chat. Your 7th Group 1, Jamie, on a very special filly, getting down to the 50. Very much worth it.
It was very much worth it. No, it's just so special. You know, it's been a long time in between drinks since my last Group 1, so they're just so hard to win. And when you're on Kieran's horses, it's a lot easier because, God, he's got some good horses running at the moment. When I saw Bella coming towards me, I was like, oh, come on, just let me have this one. But, God, she was tough. Idea, like Kieran said, we were just going to box seat. Thought there'd be too much speed, but when she jumped 2 in front, she just took luck out of the equation. She was too strong.
Is that, you know, the recipe that you worked with is, you know, she's a fast horse, let a fast horse do what she does?
Yeah, and with the weight on her back, I was pretty happy when I was cruising along in front. But she's just it's hard to do what she did, go against the older horses and do that, even with the weight. So, look, she's a star, and I'm just happy to get on her at the right time.
You mentioned the satisfaction of this Group 1 win, and it had been a little bit, you know, a little while between drinks, given everything that's gone on the last couple of years. How sweet is it to be here in this moment in the Group 1 winner stall?
Yeah, this is all I wanted to do. It was what got me through. I wanted to come back and ride another Group 1 winner, and like I said, they're hard to win. I've been on some nice chances lately, and I just haven't had luck go my way, so just beyond happy to win that today.
Bloody rap for you, well done.
Thank you.
There she is, Jamie Carr, very happy after that Group 1 victory aboard Coolangatta, and I'm sure that she's got plenty of chances over the weekend. She rides Zaki in the Underwood Stakes, so her Group 1 action may not stop there, but a brilliant ride. She really utilised that gate and really utilised the fact that she had the light weight.
You need to step well, and she did. And in these conditions, yeah, the weight, and then now she's there for fun. She's travelling in a good rhythm. There was a lot of speed, so Rothfire backs out of it. Damien Oliver has to work overtime, of course, on Zeus Style, who ends up settling handling and still running a nice race. Generation was part of that. Then Craig Williams at this stage of the race starts to make a move from just off midfield around Palele, and then all of a sudden it makes Rothfire try and pop out. He gets tight for room. Bella Nipotina's all of a sudden in the hunt, hoping that early work they've done is going to take its toll, but Jamie still had a little bit left in the locker as they swing into the straight. She clicks her up, I should say, and yeah, she was very good around the bend, wasn't she? Look, she's had the pattern in her favour, but she made the most of it. She stepped well. She was brave late, like Jamie said, and can't say enough about Bella Nipotina. That's bucked the trend, been a huge run in defeat.
Yeah, so brave to the line, wasn't she? And fantastic training performance also from Kieran Maher and Dave Eustace with Coolangatta, Bella Nipotina and Generation kicking up on the inside. It was excellent performance from Zeus Style, and there's so much more to come. Looking at those replays, there's many horses that probably didn't get their opportunity, but we'll have another look at the replay after the break as we head to oneonracing.com.
Sunday, Group 1 racing returns to Ladbrokes Park with the Underwood Stakes.
Zaki is going to be one of the shortest price favourites to win the Underwood.
Plus racing from Narracourt. Underwood Stakes Day Sunday, live on racing.com.
Adds her name to the honour roll of the Moir Stakes, along with Wild Ruler, Pippi, Nature Strip, Fedora, She Will Reign, and Extreme Choice. It was an excellent performance, Hutch.
Certainly was, yeah. Big the team, they just keep getting better and better, don't they? The Mar Eustace, so they have the first two past the post. I thought, you know, both mares were so gallant in that race, and Jamie Carr on the board as well, making every post a winner.
Yeah, certainly was. And the fact that they had also the third horse, the fourth horse as well, Generation, is an excellent performance. Well, let's have a look at full replay of the race. There was plenty of horses who had terrific chances going into the race, but it's all about luck in running, isn't it? And there's a number of horses, as I bring in Simon Marshall, who didn't get every opportunity like Coolangatta did.
Gate really well with the lightweight. Jamie Carr, long range. She was never going to ease up on the filly. That was the advantage. Zeus Style, fantastic, burning the candle. Generation Mark Zara holding out Zeus Style, as we can see there. So there was real good pressure up forward. But, you know, it was advantage. Rothfire, you could see here. But then Craig Williams makes the move, and he just pops outside of Damien Lane here and says, bang, I've got you off the bridle and off the bit, so I'm going to pressure you. And when that happens with the horse that's travelling and gets spooked with the horse running up outside it, it can put him straight off the bridle like Rothfire did. And then he was unbalanced, he was crowded, he didn't get the run that Damien Lane would have loved to be able to creep in outside of Zeus Styles' heels. Generation kicks hard, but Coolangatta, she just had a beautiful run in transit, nice and smooth, a little bit different than sitting outside the lead like she did first up. She rails up here at Moonee Valley, and that was the difference tonight. Obviously, it's a leader biased. Paul Lally ran through the line quite well. I can say Bella Nipotina, $13 into $7 with Sportsbet now for a Manicato. Coolangatta, she's around that $8, just outside of Ballinipatina, because the question mark, and I'll pose that to you, Lizzie, and also Hutchie, can she run a strong 6 furlongs?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I just was looking back in the field as well as extremely lucky, never jumped well, was never travelling and sort of battling to keep up. I think might have finished last, so maybe check the steward's report there as well. Outside of that, Maleva ran okay. That's probably her, where, you know, she was back and wide. I thought Pelele was terrific.
Excellent.
It was a great run.
Watching that again, once he balanced up, the way that he found the line, you would say the 1200 is going to be right up his alley.
It's just we can't shirk away from what is the obvious in terms of the track pattern of the night. It's been a great spot to be on speed. Coolangatta's been good enough to make the most of it and has turned the tables on a couple of others, let's be honest, from the last time they met, where there had to be some queries whether or not she could do it. Maybe she did need it, maybe she's been better for the experience and the team have produced her well, but they've also made the most of it. But yeah, Ballinipatina was fantastic. I think wherever they go with Pelele, we've got to stick with him as well in the right race, because he hasn't had things go his way in terms of the pattern tonight, and he still was very good through the line.
Yeah, excellent performance from Pelele. But when you look at Coolangatta, what she's been able to achieve this time last year, she was running in a 2-year-old trial, getting ready to run in a Gymcracker Magic Millions, and then she's continued on to this preparation, and she's done a fantastic job, really well placed by the team at Kirima and David Eustace, and probably a very satisfying performance.
Yeah, very much so, and I think the stewards have got a bit to look at in terms of interference back in the field.